Grenfell was like a Pandora box. It has opened and so many worms came out. It has exposed so many people, so many, you can see that greed and the desire for profit has gone above and beyond security, health and safety and human lives at the cost of human lives.
72 months have passed since 72 people lost their lives in the Grenfell fire. On the 14th of June 2017, a fire caused by an electrical fault burnt through a 24-storey tower block in North Kensington. A survivor from the night, Antonio Roncolato, shares his haunting memories from that evening.
Once I came towards the tower now, everything went back to me in my head, in my memories. And that night I was trapped in there. I was sleeping. My son on the way home called me. He told me to get out of the tower because it was burning. Even though I wanted and I tried twice to get out, I couldn't. I said to myself, you cannot make any mistakes. You have to be very cool and rational in what you do. Finally, at around 5 to 6, I was helped out by 2 firefighters and took me to safety, and then that is what happened that night.
Antonio, who lived in the building for 27 years, formed strong friendships with many of his neighbours, some of whom lost their lives on that tragic night.
All is the remembrance of people that have lost their lives and they're no longer with us, especially the children. A good friend of mine, the father was sleeping on a floor below, on the 4th or 5th floor, and the child was upstairs, 10, 12 years old child. The girl, at the end of the day, she didn't make it. And the father is even now is traumatized for life, because A, he's got no longer his daughter, and B, because he feels as the guilty one. It's heartbreaking. You were not there and you could have been, and it makes you feel like what is the sense of my life now?
Enhanced health checks have been set up to support those affected by the Grenfell fire. Sarah and Razna have been working alongside the community and the NHS to support these patients over the years.
The feeling won't go away of what's happened, and that's something that will be forever in their hearts, and I still see that day to day when I see my patients that have been affected. Some people are very keen to bring it up and speak about it. Others would like to forget about, what's happened. They prefer to
kind of put it like a little, cover it, keep it inside so that it doesn't, because it's something that is never going to go from their heart. It's not going to go from it. It's going to be part of their life.
As a question to general, they sometimes bring up in the consultation, why has this happened? Why is it to us? And I feel like some of these patients I have seen a few times, you get that change where they're now coming out of that, I don't want to speak about it, and now they're becoming more like, okay, I want to speak about it. Why has it happened? I've now gone through the grief part, I need to know answers.
6 years on, the community is still coming to terms with their loss. This year, local artists have come together to mark the occasion through a tree, which aims to reflect the voices of those in the Grenfell community.
What we are doing at the moment is dressing a tree, believe it or not. We've got a beautiful tree here. What we're doing is we're amplifying our children's voice and our community voice to the rest of the world. A local made these big wooden golden hearts for us that went out to all the local schools, and we are going to varnish them and we're going to hang them from this majestic tree, and the kids can come and see that their work is here and that they have got a voice. And what we do is we write the 72 names on those hearts. That's one of the hardest things that I do every year, is to sit down and write those, because it really brings it home to you that these are, our people, our children, and how devastating the whole thing is.
Well, anyone reading the newspaper or looking at the news, remember that Grenfell could be around the corner. Don't forget that there's so many hundreds of buildings in this country still cladded with this sort of cladding that was in Grenfell. Grenfell not only has disrupted our life, made suffer many families and the community here, but it is affecting also the wider community in the country, because people living in those buildings, living in those, they are stuck, they cannot move nowhere. I always say it's continually adding salt to wounds. Instead of healing, you make them bleed more because of what you hear, because of how slowly things are evolving, how long justice is taking, how much, so much is said, but nothing really is. We don't know what is going on behind the scenes, Justice would look like holding the ones responsible and eventually pointing the fingers at them, and because of you, look what happened, what you did, and look how many people are not here anymore.